Hey, how you doing? Welcome back. Okay, so the next piece we're going to be working from, we'll be using this lower segment down here. So again, I'm going to add it, and this time I'm going to create a new group called upper leg. So I'll rename that high PU leg, just so I know what it is. Okay, now I'm going to hide off the defaults. I'm going to unhide the tools because I'm probably going to need them. Get rid of the foot. And basically I can now work just from this scaffold. Again, like I've said before, not always the scaffold going to be exactly the right size, but then again, that's the nature of scaffolds, really. Okay, I'm going to start working from this side. So what I'm going to do is actually draw out a box, just so that I have everything at the size that I want, because scaffolding is, as usual, a little bit large. Let's have a look then. I'm going to draw it out from about here. Just press F3 while I'm doing it. Just to about there. And then bring it back to around about there. Okay, let's have a look and see how I did on this side. That's fine, and this side is fine. I don't actually need this top bit, although this bottom bit may eventually come in a bit more useful. And this part is the knee. So, let's rename it now. Knee. Right. First things first then, I'm going to start whacking out the detail on it. So, let's just get it central, make sure it's in the right place. So F4. It looks pretty central, to be honest. Just compare it to that. And that. Okay. Do that. There. Right, I'm going to convert to editable poly. Drop into perspective. And I'm not going to be fooled or convinced that this part is easy in any way, shape or form, because that is stupidity. Right, let's bring this down to here. And just bring this side out a little bit. There we are. Now I'm going to cut it in half. I'm not even going to bother with symmetry, I'm just going to cut it in half. Get rid of this bit. I can always take it back later on. Let's have a look from here, just so I can kind of see what I'm doing. There we are. Right. What I'm going to do first is create the overall shape that I'm going to have on here. It's quite a large piece as well, so it's a shame there aren't very many decent references for it. It doesn't even seem to do much, it's just picturesque. So what I'm going to do is create a cylinder, and I'm going to build it up here. That way my local will be correct on it. There we are. Just pull that to the right, shape and size for what I need. I'm going to bring it down to round about there, just a little bit bigger than that block there. Right. Now have a quick look at this. Convert to editable poly. This will become basically the kind of base of the pieces I'm going to be working on next. Now, what I'm going to do is cut it in half, and then cut it in half again. Take this connect here and just slide it up a bit. Just take it to the right area. Chamfer it wide. About so far. Okay, now I'm going to use the select tool, select polygon, and just try best I can just to select the ones I need. F3 and zoom. Just go around it and deselect the ones I don't want. Always happens. Don't be fooled for a second into thinking it won't happen to you, because it will. And I'm going to extrude by local normal and make this nice little collar shape just there. Okay, now from that I'm going to pull down and create a couple of bits. So this side here, grab there, and actually before I do, get straight through there and do another connect. I'm going to chamfer this nice and wide. Now I'm working quite quickly here. You should be used to my workflow by now. If you're not, then take a little bit more time to get used to it, okay? I've been working quite slowly simply because of necessity, but I do want now to start speeding things up a little bit. Okay, just go on the model, make sure it's okay, do that, do an extrude, just to take out this piece to the correct height. Right, now, if I get these, like so, and I'm going to drag this out a little bit. So turn off local, go to view, do an extrude by 0, and just bring it out like so. There we are. This is going to merge into the bottom, so what I'm going to do is start collapsing a lot of these pieces. And I think I'll collapse them upwards rather than downwards, so I'll use target welds. And then move the piece down again afterwards. Get back. Get back. There we go. Just target weld up to there, and then do the same again on this side. If I made a mistake, I can always do it again. There we go. Now select here and here. And just delete this polygon, because I don't want it. And then I'm going to have this come down until it actually goes into that part there. Okay, that looks about right. Next, select this polygon, and as you can see I can now do stuff to it on the local, which helps. Move this up a little bit like that. What I'm going to do now, just looking at this shape again, is extrude it by group. Now I'm going to ignore that by undoing it again so I can do it manually. Before I do though, let's just scale this flat. And this, but on the local. Makes things a little bit easier. Okay, next. Let's go over here. Turn off our locks. Okay, I'm going to extrude this straight out, like so, to about, let's say here. I said it before, this is quite a tricky piece. Think about there's about right. Now I'm going to go through it here, go connect, and I'm going to move my connect to, I'm looking at the wrong bit here. I'm going to move it to there, and then I'm going to chamfer it like that, and then I'm going to select here. Just bring that bit out. Now start doing some shaping here, here, and here. Bring it in. Okay, now that was not a good shape. and did not make me remotely happy. I'm not feeling the love at all there. Let's do it again. Because I was trying to move it on the local and it was having none of it. So I'll just move it on this one instead. There we are. I'll just look for the bounding box movement and then I'll know it's in the right place more or less. There, that worked better. Next. Now for this part I'm going to slap on the symmetry on this piece after all. Symmetry. The y-axis. No, z-axis. Yep. Okay, mess with the mirror. I spent ages wondering how the hell to do this in 3dsmax, you know, when I first started. It used to drive me insane. Right. Turn that off, go back here. Not even going to bother pinning the stack, I'll just show and result. And I'm going to grow these towards each other, just using the extrude tool again. Just until they marry over, and then delete the middle bits. Okay, that's not bad. Now I'm going to want to move these bits and create a little bit of a kind of edge. Change this back to view. Let's do that. It gives us that shape there. Okay, next. Go back to our original piece that we started creating over here. And I'm going to start with these two polygons. Okay, and I'm going to extrude them out. Not very far though. About there will do. And then start straightening them. Okay, now I want to move this piece by using target welds. There we are. Next, take this one, straighten it up a bit. Somehow I had a feeling I wouldn't get a local on this, but that's okay because I've got two axes I can use, or I could use screen mode. Depending on how brave you feel, screen mode is pretty damn good. Okay, so that's screen mode. And if I want to smooth out the variance of this curve a little bit, I'll grab here and just do a chamfer. Not a massive one. And then a much smaller one. Okay, and that kind of straightens that in. Next. Extrude this out to, again, just kind of looking at what I'm doing here, there. Just check the position here. Now I know there's polygons underneath this. I actually want it this time, so select here and do a ring and a connect. Move into local. Then I can move this up and down, and I'm going to move this to, keep looking at the wrong bit for some reason. I'm going to move this to here, like so. Now I'm going to do this again, ring and a connect, which I'm going to move to around about, well, yeah, just a little bit higher than that, I think. About there. There we go. Right, just look at the shape again. It's tricky because I'm having to think on my feet. Ring and connect. Ah, that's actually pretty much in the correct place there, so that's okay. Next, I'm going to bring these out on this side, so I'll just do a standard extrude. There we go. And what I'm going to do then is just bring these down. So there we are, to about there. Now over here, on this part, I'm going to extrude these together. Just delete the middle bits, like that. Okay, and look over this again. That's not bad. Next, got a fairly plain big cylinder that I need to add over here. Even though this is all evolved from a cylinder, I also need to add a piece over here. So just grab this, ring it, do a connect, change that onto local, and bring that to about there, and then do a chamfer. Oops, there we go. Right, start selecting my polygons. Oops, wrong ones. Okay, and do an extrude again by local normal. Bring that in. There we are. It's nice the way that that's actually working out, actually. Though I think that extrude there was a little bit large. There we are. Right, next. Like I said, I've got some pieces I need to add in over here. So, cylinder. I got distracted because of course I forgot that this was a cylinder that I built it from, which says something. Auto grid on. And drag it out about there. To there. Convert to edible poly. Now, this is an intriguing little shape here, because it's not a perfect cylinder. And thankfully, because of the way that this is set up, I can make it the shape I want quite easily. There to there, bridge, and then cap. There we are. Now then, minor rotation there, just to straighten it a little incy-wincy bit. And then all I have to do is just attach it. So there we go. And then I'm going to collapse the symmetry. And then I'm going to build the areas for these to be attached into. Reason being that otherwise I'll have to build some fake polygons along the middle, and it'll be such a faff on that frankly it'll be easier just doing it this way. I did get rid of the back of those, didn't I? I'm not just imagining it. Yes, I did. Okay, bridge. And cap. And bridge this one. I'll see what I did before. I tried to bridge it to the wrong piece, so I do apologise. Cap that. Alright, that's not bad. It's actually the right shape, which is good. Isolate it for a moment, so I can take off the back of it. Actually no, before I do take off the back of it, I would prefer to be able to do an edge checks on it. So, edge checks. Let's have a look at the edge checks it's done. Oh, that's nice. It really is lovely. Convert to edible poly. Okay, now I'll get rid of these back polygons at the back here. Even though this is going to cause me a hell of a job welding it all back together again. In fact, I might just attach this as a separate object. But I'm not going to, because that would be lazy. I can see these intersecting a bit, so that's why I'm just moving them a tiny bit. And I mean literally tiny, just so they don't intersect as much. There we go. Pain in the arse is intersection. Okay, exit isolation mode. Zoom back over to here again. Okay, and this piece is not really the most detailed, heavy-duty piece I've ever done. It's a box. It's going to be changed a little bit in just a minute though, so go straight down here, do a ring, connect, go here, do a ring, connect. Let's bring this one to here. That way there'll be slightly less to connect. Now if I go here and delete, and then go inside my lovely box, I'll attach this to it and isolate it, which means I can now work inside. I'm going to work on bridging. There and there. And hopefully, because I've done that, I might be lucky enough to be able to cap this. Let's have a look. Oh, I can't actually see any backwards polygons at all, surprisingly. Must mean I did something nice in a previous life or something. Okay, next, over here. And what I'm going to do is open and widen this once I've exited isolation mode. Just need to get this slightly more central. There we are. Right, next I'm going to chamfer this and this to about there, like that. Delete this one off completely, and then I can use the extrude on this one. Now select these three again, connect, go to chamfer, and do it again. And extrude it back again. Not too far, just about that far. And then delete this part. Okay, so that's given us this basic piece. Next, let's have another look at what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm going to create one of these and then probably mirror it. So have a look at the shape. See if we can find a better shape on the other side, because that shape's awful. I bet I can't. Doesn't look like it. Looks like someone's been using the old "if at first you don't succeed, just make it up" approach as well. So I'm going to have to adapt a tiny bit. Again, I apologise. It's just one of those things that I have to do now and again. Right. Looking at this. Where's the reference image I was blowing using? There it is. Okay, do a quick bevel. I'm going to bevel it in just a tiny bit, and up just a tiny bit like that. And then I'm going to bevel it up and out, just a tiny bit. Then up and out quite a bit actually. And then up. And get them to about there. Then I'm going to stop, grab these two and bring them out. Like so. Then deselect the front parts and go back into bevel again. Go here. And just start doing my insets. It's about there. Now then, actually, hang on. Another thing I need to do then is move these in a bit. There we go. There and there. Easiest thing actually is just to bring these in manually. 1, 2. Just so we have enough room for them. A little bit more actually. There we go. There and there. Next, I'm going to select these parts. There, and ring and connect. Then I can start bolting these pieces together a bit. Pull back. Just delete off these back ones. Actually, before I do, bring them in a bit. To about there. Okay. I'll delete those back pieces now. And then select the top pieces here and here. Do a minor bevel on. Like that. And that takes them in. A little bit of intersection here which I can deal with. Just right click out there and there and just grab here and here. Change it to view. Just pull back a little bit. Okay, that'll give us the effect of the mounts on the inside. There we go. Next, looking at this again, this kind of rubber bung thing on the side. Let me just apply basic material to this though. Make sure it's all working okay. This is actually just a tiny bit long, which could be a problem. It is actually a problem. So I'm going to have to shorten it a little bit. Thankfully, I've only got minimal polygons in this end at the moment. I'll bring those down to there. I'll grab that, that, and him. Bring that down a bit like that. Don't be tempted to non-uniform scale it. Bad things will happen. There we go. That's a lot better. That does need to be rounded there, but we can round that shortly. Right. Just looking at this shape just a couple more times. Not sure if I can grab this on the local anymore. Yes, I can. That's a relief. bring these in. Right, now that side looks okay. I need to add one big piece here, and I'll add another piece once I put it together, if I remember. And all I need to do here is just add the cylinder. Veritable poly. And just do an insert here. Bevel. The thing is, you see, this is, even though it looks like quite a large piece, this piece is actually quite low detailed compared to some of them. So I'm not going to spend an absolute ton of time compared to how long I spent on the previous piece on it, even though I've been like 30 odd minutes here. So I'm willing to bet I'd forgotten to take off the back, and I did. Doesn't matter though. Okay, now I'm going to attach this, delete this, and bridge something. And then cap, and then run away. Okay, so that's our first cap in place. Yep, that's fine. I'm just going to check our inside shapes, basically just to make sure we don't have any. Okay, now I'm going to apply symmetry. There we go. And for the first time in the history of symmetry, it's actually in the right place pretty much, which is nothing short of, quite frankly, astonishing. I'm going to pin this. Well, I'm not even pin it, I'm just going to, you know, show end result. Change this to view. Get that into there. Right. It's a complicated shape, but it's not unmanageable. Now I'm going to bridge between here and here, like that. This should, in theory only, allow me to pull this closer together, which marries those two pieces there. And then I can delete here and here. And that should allow me to bring these ones together as well. There we go. Now then, just have a look at this. I think what I'll do is go here and ring it and connect it. Oh, that was the wrong way. Hang on. Or was it? No, that was the right way. Thought as much. Press the wrong key there. I'll just go around it and do it this way instead. Then let's have a look. There. Now do a connect. It's better. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is just select here, 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 and here, holding shift, pull them together, and scale them flat simultaneously so they fit slightly better. Okay. I think I'm going to actually kill these polygons in the middle because they're redundant, really. There's no point having redundant polygons in here. Okay. Zoom in and just flip around for a second. Okay, that's fine. Got a few funky shaped pieces in here that I probably need to get rid of. Okay, let's see if I've done anything horrible to the model without realizing it. That happens an awful lot. Surprisingly, no, is the answer there. Take this one out as well. I'm not even 100% convinced we need that one. Let's have a look. Nope, I think I'll pull these out as well. So let's have a look underneath. Select one of them. Hit delete. Yeah, there it is. Look, you can see it. So that must be what I was looking at. That's okay. As long as it's not something I don't want. Right, next. I'm going to take my verts here and start pinning them together. That's one. And here's another one. Okay, and convert to double poly. I should be able to just cap this and cut it. Possibly even mark it with P. Right, now I can do the same over here pretty much. Bridge there. Getting nice and close. And cap here. And then run a cut from here down to here. There we go. Right, check over the model again. I need to put the bottom piece onto it now. So I'll just check the reference for that. It's not actually the most complicated piece at the bottom. There we are. It's basically a large curved piece. So what I'm going to do is draw out a cylinder from about here. Just bring it back like so. I'm going to turn slice on. We'll slice it from about there. Let's see. Say about there. Okay. Just yeah, that looks nice. Now I'm going to change the height on this, obviously, because it's not correct. Just bring this to here. But this is overall the kind of shape that I want. Okay, convert to editable poly. And I'm going to bring that down to about there. Kill these parts. Okay, go into my view over here. Effect pivot only, center to object, effect pivot only off. And I think I'll put that about there. I think I just need to angle this a little bit more. There we are. Like that. Now then. I want to get rid of at least these parts. Let's have a look. And that one and that one. A little bit more rotation here. There we are. Right. Next, I'm going to get this piece here and go into my front viewport, zoom, and I'm going to change this to screen mode. Okay, and I'm just going to move these over to here, just completely randomly, and then flatten them just in view. Okay, I'll rotate these around. Let's just get this into the right place. Now then, it looks like it's a little bit long, to be quite honest, so I might have to scale it down a little bit. Just going to have to see. I had a feeling, sadly, local wasn't going to work too well in this instance, and it won't. So it's just a case of kind of faffing about with the model until you get something that you're going to get working. Okay. Just scale that down just a tiny bit. And rotate it a little bit into place. There we are. Now I'm going to reset the X-form on it, which will also reset the normals on it at the same time. There we go. Now, looking at this shape here, again, like I said, it's a very simple shape. Just pull that in to about there. And I think what I'm going to do here is just do a target weld. So, again, just a quick target weld here to here. Flip it round and here to here. Alright, next. I want to make 5 extruded polygons. Now, if there's, I think was 21, but I've trimmed off a few. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 is a great number when you try and divide it by 5. So, there isn't even a kind of common denominator on those. I think the best thing to do would be to change this to basically 10. So let's see what we can do. So what I'm going to do is just take off these 3, which will give us 10. I know it seems a bit drastic, but sometimes drastic works. There we go, delete those. And grab here and here, just move it to round about there. Okay, that seems wonky. Why? Oh right, I'm in screen mode. I thought it was in view mode. Silly, foolish Chris. I was like, why does that look so weird? Well, okay, next. It's actually quite a big piece, this one. It's interesting. I'm going to bring this back. Again, just until this starts to intersect. About there. Then I can increase the scale on it again. Just pull it to the right area. Okay, next I'll bridge it. Done. Now, I'm going to inset everything on the top. Like so. And then just bevel it down and in just a tiny bit. Next I'm going to do these basically 2 at a time. I thought I had the... I made 6. Oh. It's supposed to be 6. Weird. Oh, well, never mind. You probably noticed that ages ago. You were just chuckling to yourself, wondering when I'd notice. And I don't care. Okay, and I'm going to bevel these up. Okay, nice and silky smooth. Next, because these are a little bit too wide and I want the border a bit wider. Grow that. Put on the scale and just pull them in. Should do it. Yep, that's fine. Next. Cut it down the middle. Oops. There we go. And do a connect. Get rid of one side. There we are. Okay, next I'm going to get rid of these. Basically they make my mojo all feel off with my model. I'll just bridge here to here. And then cap the bit in between. There, that works better. Next. I'm going to create a box. And I'm going to drag it out around about that size. Then rotate it until it's in the right place. Actually no, an easy way of doing this, if I'm trying not to be thick as hell, would be draw it from here. Just bring it out to about there. And then bring it up to about here. Convert to editable poly. Right, next. Grab here, do a ring, do a connect. Change this to local. Bring that back to about there. Take this one, oops. Scale in a little bit that way. Move this in. To about there. Okay, and scale that a little bit wider. And then scale this one a little bit smaller. Okay, that gives us some nice shapes. Yeah, a little bit too smooth on the back there. Okay, I'm going to keep the back in place even though it pins onto this. And what I'm going to do next is just make two simple buttons that go onto this. Now I'm going to start using my old tools again. So, Max script, run script. I'm going to go all the way down to my projects folder. Ed209, scripts. Here we go. Now I want to set my selection here up. And for my distribution, let's see what we've got. Tool, medium, inset with the ratchets. That sounds good. The place mode. One there, and one there. Perfect. Okay, and I'm going to add some good old bolts and things to the other one as well soon. I seem to have just placed one in the middle of nowhere there. Right, over here. What I'm going to do is grab all these and start chamfering them just a little bit to make it nice and rounded. apply, and then just that should be enough actually. Now I'm going to get this bit and attach this and this. Bridge and bridge and cap. Okay, that's fine. Now then, again, I'm going to use the paint tool, and I'm going to pick some more distribution objects, pick the larger ones this time. Now I'm not sure if the larger ones will fit particularly well, so let's find out. Firstly, deselect this. Now I'm going to set this selection as source and do a placement here. Now that is too large, so make the small one instead. I can do one there, and I can do one there. That works. Okay, so grab here. Go to the attach tool, and then go to the bridging tool. Well, there we go. Now I can do some cap. Hopefully. And another one there. There we go. Okay, that's fine. Now I've got some quite big pieces here that I'm going to want to put the bolt that I made on, so let's have a look. I can't see any bolt detailing, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use the large ones this time as well. Before I do, isolate this a moment, just check it, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to attach this piece and this piece. Stick a simple symmetry on them. Flip it, convert to editable poly. Quick Control A and weld. Just basically trims it down a bit. It does get rid of a lot of excessive polygons in this as well, if you wanted to, or you can make it less intensive just by bringing the threshold right down. Okay, next I want to attach this onto this piece, so go here, and delete this. Okay, next attach it back on, and then let's use the interactive bridge again. Start closing stuff up. This should cap really nicely simply because it's a very simple one. Cap and cap. There we are. Right, next, going to open up the paint tool. Actually, I shouldn't have really bothered capping those. Oh no, I'm going to need to, aren't I? Otherwise I can't draw on the surface. Just being stupid. There we go. Set selection as source. Go to place mode. Say one there. One there. One there. And one there. Then a bit higher up. One there. And one there. Place off. Attach. Okay. Now, back into here again. And I'm going to delete that. I knew this piece was going to be, that's the only word I can use, is quite interesting to work on. So, I'm going to be quite glad, to be honest, when this one's out the way and I can work on all the lovely pistons in the next piece. Oops, wrong button. The sharp-eyed of you might see I've been playing Sherlock Holmes versus Arsenio Lupin in my spare time, which is incidentally a great fun game. Highly recommend it to anyone who likes lateral thinking. It's like doing the Times crossword inside an FPS game. And incidentally, I am hopeless at doing the Times crossword, so you can begin to imagine how long it's going to take me to finish this game. Okay, and bridge. Didn't work out very well, that one, did it? Try again. There we go. And this one. There we go. Now it's time to start closing stuff up. Sometimes I actually remember to set the cap tool to a key. Other times I completely forget. And I can't be bothered to now, so... There we go. Cap, cap, cap and cap. So that's looking okay. Now on the top here, I have to build some, well, quite a simple part really. It's just a gigantic, great big cylinder. It's literally the entire volume of the top half, so... Cylinder goes on here. Just bring it out like that. Convert to minimal poly. Bring it down a tiny bit. Grow, Control I, delete. Now it should be easy enough to cap. There we go, delete that. And then attach this fellow here. Ridge. Do on the other side as well. Just in case I ever need to cut it in half or do anything like that, this will make my job a little bit easier. Okay, and cap. And again. Next, got the beveling tool. Expert mode, just so I can see what I'm doing better. Okay, and I'm going to start bring it in. Bring it in. And out again. There we go. And that builds that part. Okay, so with our actual knee itself done, this is the lower Lego one, knee reverse part, we're more or less in a position to start work on the upper leg at last. So, for that, I will see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next part. Bye-bye for now.